The big thing for me is to be able to share with young people that the game on the field is just a game, and then we have to parlay the game on the field to the bigger game of life, and that's living a life of selfless service and helping others, and to take mine off for yourself and to help others. And I'm blessed to have been able to do that through sports. Coming from Chicago, I always tell this story. Being on one of the greatest teams of all time, playing with some of the greatest players of all times. There were four NFL Hall of Famers on that team. Walter Payton, Mike Singletary, Dan Hampton, my roommate Richard Dent, and then of course Mike Ditka, who made it in as a player. He was our head coach, and everybody knows who Buddy Ryan is, and he's a well-renowned defensive coordinator. And so just being around on that team and the culture of that team was a dream come true for me. As a kid, I never forget, in the sixth grade, our teacher had us discuss the movie Brian Song. And man, that was a tearjerker. And it's so ironic too, because I saw that movie and it dawned on me. I said, that's the team I want to play on. I want to play on the Chicago Bears. And it actually came true. But that movie stuck with me because of the relationship of Brian Piccolo, who was a white running back, and Gale Sayers, a black running back. And it was my first time as a sixth grader seeing a relationship amongst two races of people. And it just touched me in a way that that years later I had a chance to be on that team. And so that's what my life has been about: bringing people together, unity, unifying people, letting them know that we all are people, and there's good people, and then there's bad people. Those are the only two types of people. The way that came to my awareness was in the sixth grade, the first year of integration, when Mrs. Hagan, she came up from Baton Rouge. I always tell people that she shuffled up from Baton Rouge because the Super Bowl shuffle to us was a story of faith, and I get back to that story. But Mrs. Hagan came up in 1971, and she came out of LSU, and at that time I wasn't aware of Southeastern Conference football, growing up next door to Bob Hill, who would later become Walter Payton's coach at Jackson State. And so Mrs. Hagan, she always talked about LSU, so I had a fondness of following LSU, and then began to watch Ole Miss. And at the time, Archie Manning, who's a Mississippi Hall of Famer, and actually a Rube winner too as well, had a chance to follow him. And he brought so much excitement to the state of Mississippi because he was in the running for the Heisman Trophy that year. And Mrs. Hagan knew I loved football. We were always playing football kicking the little football. It was a game that people used to play back in the day, playing football. But she was a person that wanted to make sure that we understood we understood things, because she always talked to us about race relations and those types of things. And so when the draft was coming up, she had me do a book report on the NFL draft. And Archie Manning had brought so much excitement to the state of Mississippi. I had followed him, but she wanted me to do more of a research about the draft. And that we had just got some encyclopedias at the time, and then I had to go travel, and not travel, but I had to walk so many miles to go get a newspaper. At the time, the draft was like 17 rounds. But what I learned about the NFL draft is that it was created to create parity, meaning that the teams that finished last had a chance to pick first. And of course, the New Orleans Saints that year they were a new team, and so they were picking first in the draft, and New England Patriots, who now are one of the top teams now, but they were picking first, and the New Orleans Saints was picking second. And never forget it, Jim Plunkett was picked first, and Archie Manning was picked second. And the NFL draft was created in 1936. It still stuck to me to create parity. And years later, after retiring from football, I ended up writing a letter to Paul Tagliabue, sharing with him the story of my sixth grade teacher, Archie Manning, and that I wanted to create a program in Tampa, Florida, and Jackson, Mississippi, to work with youth, taking students that were coming from bad conditions and taking the best out of those conditions. And then years later, that's quantified and see how those kids would do if they were taken away from their worst conditions. And years later, here we are, and we have a number of students who have gone on to become successful. Frederick Burns, who came out of the stew pot here in Jackson, Mississippi. He's now a software engineer for American Airlines. We have Nate Peoples out of Tampa, Florida, who thought his dream of playing in sports was over. He ended up getting with our organization. We helped him walk on to Mississippi State. 20 years later, he returned as an assistant strength coach, and now he's at the University of Texas. We have Jarrell Mayer, who actually we helped him go to Millsaps from Florida, and now after graduation, he came back to work with us, and he and I go out speaking with All Pro Dads and Tony Dungy. Now we do a bus tour bringing kids from Tampa, Florida. We go through Southern Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, and Wake Forest. And we have a couple kids who stopped here, on their visits. They decided to walk on to the local schools here from Florida. And it's just been a beautiful thing to be able to see that kids who once thought their dreams were over, that have now had a chance to achieve their dreams of going to college, graduating, and then coming back to help somebody else. And we had Jasmine Trammell from Tampa, Florida, wanted to play sports so badly. We ended up finding him an opportunity to go to Mississippi Valley State. Now he's assistant principal back in Tampa. I mean, those stories, they're just so beautiful, and they never would have happened if not for the game of football.